During this lesson, I'm going to teach you the concept around the integrated defensive action, or what we call as the IDA. So to begin with, essentially what the integrated defensive action, or IDA, is, it's an initial defensive action that integrates all different components against any type of attack, whether it's a knife, a stick, unarmed defense, integrates all that as the same option, okay, that suits multiple different types of attacks. So, and again, what I want to do for this is you can either learning why start from shoulder width apart, or what I like to do is start in our high risk stance. Okay, so from here, what I want to think about doing is I need a front hand up, I need my back hand up, I need to move forward, and I want to use circular movement. So if the attack is high, I want to utilize the overhook component of the integrated defensive action. So again, as that comes in, I want to make sure I move forward. My hands are already up, so my front hand, I want to think about fingertips to elbow, and I want to make sure I'm utilizing my defensive action on my front hand on about a 45-degree angle. So I think about like a pyramid-like structure. As that punch comes in, ideally I want to intercept as early as I can. Okay, so if I can intercept out here, brilliant. Okay, my next component is I need my backhand up. So my backhand up is anywhere just protecting my center line. Okay, it's mainly more relevant when we're doing low integrated defensive action. That transitions into our underhook. Not so much for a high punch, but as it comes in, front hand up, rear hand up, I want to move forward into the strike, and now I want to think about my last component, is small circular movement. So as you can see, Matt puts a lot of pressure here onto my arm. Small circular movement just redirects that. So, well, Matt is bigger and stronger than me, but let's say someone who's bigger and stronger than Matt comes and throws that committed punch, I want to make sure I have an option that can defend against that. If I just rely on muscle and more like a striking motion, that may not be enough. So when I add the small circular movement, all that is I want to think about my forearm here and a small rotation. Okay, so one more time, as you can see, so from here, as you can see here, it's just a small rotation. That's all I need. So if I'm doing my overhook version of the cardio, coming in. Now from here, small circular movement, now I'm going to overhook. As I overhook, I want to make a C-clamp towards the tricep, and I want to make sure I lock his wrist into my elbow, correction, into my armpit here. And now my other hand is I want to go to the top of the jawline, and I want to be able to rotate in that so my blade of my forearm is across his jaw. I want to make sure my forearm now is pretty close, so it's not flaring. I want to make sure it's kind of in line with his body here. So if Matt tries to tackle me, I have that ability to stop him. Okay, my next component is pull pushing. I want to pull his arm and I want to push his head like I'm doing a bow and arrow. See how now Matt is structurally broken here. Okay, so I'm in a pretty good position here. The next thing is I want to redirect the energy. So I'll take a step 45 degrees, I can grab the back of his head and I want to pivot. So now from here I can start to follow up with further strikes. So one more time. Coming in, first point of contact is my lead arm. Second point of contact now is my small circular movement until I come into my bow and arrow position. Remember, wrist into my armpit, C-clamp the tricep, pull, push. Now I want to use my step and pivot footwork. Step, pivot, and now I can follow up with whatever combative strikes I choose to do. So the underhook version is usually, most common is usually when it's a knife, but forget about the knife for now. But as Matt throws a low type punch, same thing this time I want to make sure this is 45 degrees down. If it's straight, it can slide up or slide down. Okay, so I want to make sure this is 45 degrees. I want to make sure I pop my hips out slightly. I want to protrude this shoulder about 45 degrees, small circular movement. Now from here, I want to do my underhook. So as I do my circular movement, I want to think about rotating around so my thumb kind of rubs the tricep tendon here. So now when I come around, I can get my IDA. So I want to make sure his wrist is in the crook of my elbow. I want to make sure this is nice and tight. I ideally want to rotate this so my palm is to the sky and his elbow is to the sky. forearm across his jaw, pull, push, lock this in. I want to make sure my elbow is glued to my hip. Pull, push, step, pivot, now and follow up with whatever combative strikes I choose to do. One at a time. Punch comes in, low. Intercept is the most important thing. Circular movement. Tie out and control. So I have my underhook, pull, push, follow up with whatever combative strike you need to know. The important thing to understand is Matt has a back and he goes high. It's the same response if Matt has a knife. It goes for an overhead type start. It's the one response. If Matt does like an underhook start, same response. So it's the one option that suits most types of attacks when it's more of a dynamic type of attack.